Hello, my name is Gary Axamit. I coach founders and investors on business plan ideation and execution in this world of black swan events. These are only my opinions, so take it for what it's worth. If you like what you see here, follow me on TikTok or YouTube. There's a lot more content out there. So I guess in every great nation's evolution process, there are inflection points when you start to realize, you're not going uphill anymore. You've now plateaued and you're coming on back downhill real fast. And a lot of those inflection points happened over the past 25 years. It's a weird thing, I guess. I assume that at some point in time, social scientists will look back at September 11, 2001 and go, wow, that was a lot bigger event than we realized. Somehow that changed not only America's mindset, but global mindset. That set a fire of hate towards them. Anyone that didn't look like you was now the enemy. And maybe that was bin Laden's plan all along, to divide America, divide the world. But it's like there's a whole bunch of events that have started to stack up on each other ever since then. And, people forget that in the early 2000s, under Bush 43, Americans got two different refund checks from the Treasury. One was before September 11 and one was after, and they were fairly significant checks. I don't remember anymore. I think they were in the hundreds of dollars. And the Bush administration's position is that a nation should always be in debt because that's what nations do. Oh, shit. Man. The baby boomer generation has perfected the debt business, that's for damn sure. Because since that period of time, in 25 years' time, America is now $37 trillion in debt. America's dying a slow and painful death of debt. And it really bothers me to see this magical thinking mindset. Debts are paid with work. Debts are paid with things that are created, and we don't create things. And America doesn't do great things anymore. Only the government has the ability to force things through. Private sector falls flat on its face, as we saw with the Keystone Pipeline and several other abominable failures in the private sector. So why is that important to point out? Because we have basically been kicking the can. We've been robbing Peter to pay Paul all the way along the past 25 years. America's combined GDP over the past 25 years is about $370 trillion, and America's $37 trillion in debt, or somewhere in that area right now. So I get blocked by economists on TikTok all the time because obviously they think that I've got Dunning-Kruger effect and I'm a genius with no background. But I just point out just simply $370 trillion, $37 trillion, 10%. They keep arguing the annual GDP of the United States has been somewhere between 2 and 3%, at least before COVID. That's bullshit. That's completely bullshit. The Bureau of Labor Statistics is cooking the unemployment numbers. The Treasury keeps, skimming and creating different parameters for the GDP calculations. We don't even know if that number is real anymore. I honestly look at this just in a binary black and white thinking mindset of America really hasn't had any positive GDP in 25 years. And that's why we're going to continue to spend. We're going to continue to borrow. We're going to continue to print. I don't care what the politicians promise. There's going to be a lot of kabuki theater. There's going to be a lot of what I would call kicking up of dust with not a lot of return on investment. But whatever, you have to understand that from the baby boomer generation that are running this country and running this world right now, everything's on the line. Everything's on the line. They spent their entire generation telling the world that the World War II generation just didn't understand. And if you don't believe me, go watch the movie Wall Street. Watch the end of the movie Wall Street. Watch the father talking to Charlie Sheen's character. Was Charlie Sheen's character named Bud or whatever? Go watch that final conversation and think about how we've just been moving the pieces around in the chessboard, and we really haven't done a hell of a lot. We ship jobs overseas. We shouldn't have done that. We've destroyed the middle class. We destroyed the Rust Belt, and now we're going to bring those jobs back. Come on. This is where, from my perspective as a founder, I'm just sick of this shit. Okay, I am completely sick of fucking Washington, D.C. They can't lead. They can't even follow without screwing themselves up. So everything's on the line. Okay, you better be right. That's all I have to say to the people who are running the Fed and running the Treasury. You better be right. Because if you're not, there's a whole lot of people going to come after you pissed as hell with pitchforks.